Hey, engineers and nuclear posturing. This is not in the news very much, if at all, unless you follow concerned scientists or national academies or Fairwinds or Beyond Nuclear or some of the many local groups in your area. Nearly every state has one, tiny to large, that objects to nuclear follies, nuclear spending, nuclear waste. This nuclear story dating back generations now, from the dawn of the nuclear age, in the race to build bigger and better bombs to destroy each other, there was an underlying current of some civil uses for these weapons of mass destruction. So interleaved in this huge undertaking is heavy industry, providing the technology, the contracts, the people, the services to build these things for governments. This is heavy industry at work. These are the enablers to whatever ideas some of these vapid candidates for politics that are offered up to us. Anyway, that nuclear power plant, the new ones being proposed, produce plutonium. Plutonium is a weapons-grade material. It is a deadly poison if used as a poison. And we hear of its family of radioactive materials having been used as poisons. But you don't need those. There's other poisons from nature, like arsenic, like timonium, like antimony, that you could use for other purposes. And I'll help catch you. So inside of this are the massive war machines, the heavy industry that enabled and went along with Hitler's plans. If those companies had closed up and run away like they threatened to do over taxation and not enabled the avarice of these wars. So, what's not being discussed is our nuclear weapons strategy. Not very much at all. Under Trump, we opened up a policy of tactical nuclear weapons. So a field commander might have in his arsenal a tactical nuclear weapon, which means hundreds or thousands of these could be dispersed across the world to enable these commanders to command, right? That's tactical nuclear weapons. Some guy down the street might have the keys to it. This is a sickness, this fear being instilled in us about each other is an intentional ill on our society. So anyway, what do we do? What do we propose? How about instead of targeting for our national nuclear arsenal, instead of targeting the governments and the places where these goods are manufactured and built, we target the corporations, the executives that agreed to this tomfoolery, that build these mass weapons of destruction. So if someone pulls the wrong button, guaranteed these leaders of industry will be replaced somehow. Libertarian nonsense? Really? How old are we? 30 plus thousand years, some say at this point. Science informs us that tends to be where we came from. Is other life on this planet. We should appreciate that to some degree. It's what fed us and got us here, besides the minerals mined under our feet. There is no balance. There is no equity. When you see people like Elon Musk being touted as heroes in this shallow shit media we've got, well, you should be annoyed at our politics. Very annoyed at our politics. These processes that drive these things, these massive corporations that do this, hiding in the backwoods and in LLCs and little minor subdivisions all across the globe now. Point to very few leaders of heavy industry that tolerate and put up with this and demand it. The mining company that goes to South America and demands cheap labor and demands not to worry about those dikes that might burst, and threatens and cajones and says, well, we just can't compete in a global market. The market they made, how money moves through the... So how about we retarget the nation's nuclear arsenal and see if the winds change. It's like carbon sequestration. We could have done it generations ago, and yet here we are. Vote anyway. Vote against if you have to. Register independent. Make them pander for your vote. But vote anyway. Merry Christmas.